Mist on the mountain's brow, whispers from long ago. Hear the song of the city calling you to the sea. The ancient kings return, a timeless fire burns. The heart of air calls beyond the waterfalls.
Between Ballyfarnan and Cadew, on the Roscommon Leitrim border, there's a hollow in the land where the grass grows darker than it should. The old people call it St. Lassair's Well, though the name itself is older than memory. Some say it means the lost one. Others say it belonged to a man who lost far more than he ever expected. Long ago, when the countryside was poorer than poor and families lived off land that barely fed a goat, there lived a Protestant farmer named Lassair. His wife was Catholic, a quiet woman who carried her faith the way she carried everything else, silently and with more strength than anyone realized. They had one son, and Lassair pinned all his hopes on him. He sent the boy away to college to become a Protestant parson, the pride of the family, the one who would lift them above the back-breaking life of the farm. But the land has a way of shaping a man's soul, and the boy's heart leaned toward his mother's faith. While away, he studied in secret, prayed in secret, and when the time came, he was ordained a Catholic priest. Only his mother knew. She kept the secret close, knowing the storm it would bring. When he returned home, the father expected a parson. What he got was a priest. On his first Sunday back, the young man offered mass in the house, blessing the neighbors who gathered in curiosity and awe. Word spread fast, too fast, and by evening Lassair knew the truth. The following Sunday he barred his son from leaving the house. When his wife went to mass alone, he filled the barn with straw and oil, invited his son inside under the pretense of a talk, locked the door, and set it alight. The flames roared so high they could be seen from the road. Neighbors returning from mass ran toward the smoke, expecting screams, panic, something. But when they broke down the door, they found the barn burned to its bones, and the young priest lying in the center, asleep, untouched, his skin slick with sweat, though the fire had eaten everything around him. Lassair fell to his knees. He begged forgiveness, and in the weeks that followed, he converted to the Catholic faith he had tried to burn out of his own son. Years passed. The barn collapsed. Grass grew over the ashes. And then, one spring morning, a well burst from the ground in the exact spot where the priest had lain untouched by the flames. People came from miles around. Some washed their hands, some washed their eyes, some washed the sores and aches they'd carried for years, and many walked away, cured. Word spread, and soon St. Lassair's Well became a place of pilgrimage, a rare light in a countryside weighed down by poverty, sickness, and the quiet despair that hung over families who had too little and worked too hard. But where crowds gather, drink follows. A public house opened nearby, and men began visiting the well under the influence, shouting, laughing, and carrying on with no respect for the place or the miracle that had made it. The priest of the parish, tired of the disrespect, ordered the well closed. A high stone wall was built around it, and no one was allowed near. But the well didn't go quiet. People walking past at dusk saw figures moving inside the enclosure. Lights flickered where no candle burned. Voices whispered prayers in languages older than the parish itself. And then came the girl from New York. She was Irish by blood, blind for years, and plagued by dreams of a well she had never seen. Night after night she saw the same hollow in the land, the same dark water, the same voice calling her name. Eventually her family brought her to Ireland, following the dream to St. Lassair's Well. But when she asked the priest for permission to enter, he refused. If he let her in, he'd have to let everyone in. Rules were rules. Heartbroken, she walked away, but the dream had been too strong to ignore. That night she returned, climbed the high wall with her hands shaking, and felt her way to the water. She cupped it in her palms, washed her eyes, and the world opened. She saw the moon. She saw the trees. She saw the stones of the wall she had climbed. And she saw the dark water of St. Lassair's well shining like glass. Some say it was faith. Some say it was defiance. Some say the well chooses who it heals. But everyone agrees on one thing. St. Lassair's well is not a place to be taken lightly. It remembers the fire, it remembers the miracle, and it remembers the disrespect. If you've made it this far into the story, thanks for spending a few quiet minutes with me. These old tales from the Leitrim Roscommon border carry more weight than people realise, and there are plenty more where this one came from. If you'd like to hear them, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you'll know when the next story rises up out of the bog. Thanks for listening, and may the road rise to meet you, unless it's the old bog road. Bye for now.
Where ancient spirits softly tread, and mossy stones hold what was said. A whispered tale upon the breeze, through haunted wells and sacred trees. The signal from the old lands calls, the bog signal speaks.